The swords broke several of her ribs and wounded her cheek.
No, bro, because that's technically murder if you think about it. Now she look like Fetty Wap. I hope she doing good, though.
Yo.
What's good, YouTube? Today we're gonna be looking at magic tricks that went horribly wrong. I want to see when magicians feel like they could actually do something, and then it backfires on them where they do something else and half of their bodies actually split. Let's get started.
10 magic tricks that went horribly wrong.
Talk to me. What's up?
Number 10.
Okay.
Human Pincushion. Famous for her outlandish outfits, Japanese magician Mariko Itakura
What's she
performed
do?
under the stage name Princess Tenko.
Princess Tenko could get this 10 inches. I hope she's safe. Please tell me she ain't do anything where she split up her body.
During a 2007 performance,
What'd she
Tenko
do?
was placed inside a box, into which 10 real metal swords were to be.
Say on God, I'd be damned if I told niggas to put swords in my box and they ain't. Imagine she wanted like fake swords and then they gave her real shit. Do not tell me she got stabbed, bruh.
Inserted. The plan was for Tenko to escape the box without the audience realizing,
It never
so it would be
opened
empty
up?
when the weapons were forced into it. Disastrously, Tenko wasn't able to do this in time. The swords broke several of her ribs and wounded her cheek,
Y'all think they arrested the dudes that did it? No, bro, because that's technically murder if you think about it.
and
That's
she
actually
escaped
tough.
being stabbed in the eye.
Nigga, now she look like Fetty Wap. I hope she doing good, though. Y'all gotta make sure shit like that work.
A mere centimeter. Number 9. Audience participation. In the early 20th century, the now classic magic trick of sawing a woman in half was relatively new. This is why in 1936, a Quebec audience was outraged by stage magician Georges Lalonde when he announced that he was going to cut his assistant in two. An appalled audience member called Henry Howard leapt into the stage in response. Thinking he was
Hold on,
rescuing the
give me 1
assistant from a
second.
real-life bisection, he grabbed one of Lalonde's prop swords and stabbed the magician in the back.
I'm not gonna lie, whoever that is, he might be on the spectrum. Nigga, if it's a magician and his assistant is willfully willing to be split up, you know that she's not actually gonna be split into two. Let him cook, bruh.
Lalonde was rushed to hospital with a collapsed lung, but he made a fortunate recovery. Number 8.
What's up?
Like a moth to a flame.
What happened?
In June 1900, Swedish conjurer Balabrega was performing in a successful magic show in Brazil. One of his tricks was an elaborate deception involving 6 assistants dressed as moths.
Nigga, you telling me the magicians be getting bitches? I'm a magician, I need you to be my assistant. Not gonna lie, that might work.
Who would seem to miraculously disappear when consumed by flames. For the flames, the trick required a controlled supply of gas.
No!
However, one theatre Balabrega performed at could only access acetylene gas.
Say on God, they ass lit on fire, bruh.
Acetylene is highly flammable and unpredictable. And during the early stages of the performance, the gas ignited in a ferocious explosion that engulfed Balabrega and one of his assistants, killing them both.
You see, respectfully, if I'm an assistant, the only magic trick my magician can make me do is disappear or reappear. Y'all trusted these niggas with your life. What do you mean you gonna let a nigga set you on fire? Huh? Nigga, you might be safer in the Travis Scott concert than this shit, bruh.
Number 7. Life in the Fast Lane. Charles Rowan, also known as Car the Mysterious,
What did he do?
was a South African escape artist.
Okay.
In 1930, he attempted an unbelievably dangerous stunt, which saw him restrained in a straitjacket and left in the path of an oncoming car.
Okay.
The car started 180 meters away and accelerated to 72 kilometers per hour,
Yo!
giving Car only 10 to 15 seconds to escape the jacket and move out of the way.
Why would you even want to give yourself that small of an interval? Even from the viewership perspective, I'm not trying to see a magic trick finish that quickly. He basically gave the same amount of time it takes me to nut, bruh. It's too fast. Nigga, you gotta vibe, bruh.
Predictably, this was not enough time, and Car was struck by the vehicle and killed instantly.
Dude.
Number 6.
You couldn't use a weaker car, like a wooden car? I don't know, you had to use a Jeep.
Open wide. In 1938, Australian dentist...
Open wide? What type of freaky magic tricks we doing now? Telling me he giving them the strokes? Which type of strokes?
turned amateur magician Dr. Vivian Hensley was demonstrating a trick to his family that involved pretending to eat razor blades while actually dropping them down the sleeve of his coat. However, he slipped up and accidentally dropped a blade down his throat, causing severe internal bleeding. Despite 2 bouts of surgery, doctors were unable to remove the razor, and Hensley died in hospital for...
Imagine dying to that weak ass magic trick. And why is your mouth open up that wide, dude? And how small is the blade? Nigga really died giving a razor blade a BJ. He really gave that shit some neck. And look what happened to him.
4 days later. Number 5. Underwater Grave. The water barrel escape trick involves a magician trying to escape a large container filled with water.
Okay.
Popularized by Harry Houdini, the trick is notoriously deadly. In 1930, the trick cost the life of famous magician Royden Joseph Gilbert Raison de la...
Why do y'all think no black people ever be doing any magic trick underwater? Well, two things. One is obviously stereotypical, and another thing, we got sense.
Genesta. Catchy. During transportation, the barrel that Genesta was going to use was dented without anybody realizing.
Okay.
This limited the space that the escapologist had to maneuver inside the container, ultimately preventing him from being able to make the necessary movements for escape. Realizing during the attempt that something was wrong, Genesta's assistants tried to open the barrel. Tragically, they were unable to find the right keys for the locks, and the magician drowned.
So y'all waited that long until he actually drowned? Like, did y'all not say, yeah, man? Have you realized it's been a bit more than 10 minutes than the expected time that he should be out? Assistance, bruh. I'm sorry, bruh. If you gonna do some shit like this, you gonna need like a camera or some shit hidden in there.
Number 4.
Next one, what's up?
Rehearsal Disaster. One day in July 1980.
So you're telling me his ass ain't even die showing off to the real people? He ain't even die really trying to show off his magic trick? A rehearsal? I'm not gonna lie, Chad, I'm asking God for a respawn, bruh.
23-year-old magician Jeff Rayburn Hopper was practicing a difficult escape trick that he was due to perform later that afternoon. For the trick, he had to be tied up in shackles and submerged in Winona Lake, Indiana.
Okay.
Sadly, Hopper had not checked the weather forecast. His morning rehearsal was met with vicious winds, which generated thrashing waves. Barely able to escape the shackles that bound him, Hopper did manage to struggle to the surface and call for help.
Okay.
However, the ferocious wind washed him further away from the shore, meaning rescuers were unable to reach him. His body wasn't retrieved until 4.5 hours later.
I mean, is that really the magic trick then? It was just the bad weather and the fact that he lives in Indiana, and let's be real, nobody lives in Indiana.
Number 3. Seeing Double. The German performer Sigmund Neuberger, better known as the Great Lafayette, was the world's highest paid magician at the beginning of the 20th century. During an Edinburgh performance of his signature Lion's Bride illusion, in which he appeared to transform into a real-life lion, catastrophe occurred.
Am I tripping, or all the magicians are becoming lame? Because how the hell your ass go from a regular person to a lion? Okay, let me find out his ass got ate by a lion, bruh.
Catastrophe occurred. A stage lamp set fire to the elaborate set, and it spread rapidly. Lafayette and 10 of his co-performers were killed, trapped by the raging fire as the theatre burned to the ground. 2 almost identical bodies were discovered in the wreckage, both of which were identified as the magician.
That one trick caused the death of 10 people, bruh. I can see why magic died. Like, low-key, the only magic trick people be doing nowadays is card tricks. Let's be real. I feel like if magic was still as popular as it was back then, we would have seen people with, like, watching me grow my 2-inch penis to a 10-incher. Like, we would have seen cooler shit. But now, it's like, it's just cards.
The confusion was later cleared up when it transpired that one had been the illusionist's body double. Number 2. How not to catch a bullet. American magician William Ellsworth Robinson adopted the persona of Chinese magician Chung Ling.
Let me find out his ass told the other nigga, shoot me. I'ma catch this shit. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna feel an ounce of remorse for his death.
Su. Robinson never broke character, always speaking in Chinese on stage and even using an interpreter in interviews. In March 1918, as part of his performance, he attempted to catch a speeding bullet. However, the gun used in Robinson's stunt had not been cleaned out properly, meaning it still contained gunpowder residue. This was enough to launch a bullet out of the weapon and into the magician's chest. Tragically, before he died, Robinson broke character for the first time in his...
No, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that in itself would make me just giggle a bit. What is the magic in that? If someone shoots you with a bullet and you catch it, niggas gonna be like, bro, did you shoot that with a Nerf gun? If you catch it, that shit just lame as hell. I think it really just depends on how fast it was shot.
His career, calling for help in English. Number 1. Buried Alive.
Okay.
Being
Mr. Beast. That nigga would be heated if he saw Mr. Beast videos nowadays, finding out this nigga would release 10 videos of doing that same shit.
Voluntarily buried alive is one of the most dangerous tricks a magician can attempt.
Okay.
So great is the risk of suffocation that most performers construct an escape route and do not actually remain underground for the time that they claim to. Unfortunately, 24-year-old Sri Lankan magician Janaka Basnayaka did not realize this.
So your ass just thought niggas just stay there? You do know your body can rot? What type? Okay, somebody in your chat. I think with a lot of these magicians, they were special magicians. If you get where I'm coming from. They were special. They were very special.
Hoping to set a world record for the longest time buried alive, in 2012 Basnayaka was buried in a pit 3 meters deep. After 7.5 hours in the pit, Basnayaka was dug up and found not
What did you
breathing
expect?
due to a lack of oxygen. He was taken to a hospital where he was later pronounced dead.
What did that nigga expect? But anyways, YouTube, that is magic tricks that went horribly wrong. Let me know what y'all think about these magicians, if they're just dumb or some of them just were unfortunate. The last person, I'm sorry, but if you can't even figure out that they actually have oxygen at the very least, then you're actually dumb. If you're watching from YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe. Join us on Twitch, catch us on Discord, all that good stuff, man. Watch them for life. Love y'all, and peace.